Today, I'm back with mega movie numbers for you all. This is where we run down physical media by the numbers. First, we take a look at the top 20 selling 4K Ultra HD discs of a previous week. I give you my thoughts and recommendations on every single title there so you can help make some better buying decisions in the future for your collecting needs, of course. And then we get into the market share breakdown where we look at the different disc formats you love. DVDs, Blu-rays, 4K, see how well they're selling in comparison to one another. And then we talk about how is physical media doing overall. We make some educated guesses, some future predictions. Where does physical media go to next? We just have a great time talking them movies. So before we get into that, if you love collecting physical media just like me, being a part of this amazing league of mega film fans, you're in the right spot. Go ahead and mega smash that like and subscribe. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all future physical media topics. And leave in the comments below any surprises that come up in this top 24K list. And also, what do you think of the market share breakdown this week? But let's dive right into this banger list. First up at the bottom here, we got to have Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom from Warner. This one has steadily been off and on the list, but I'm happy to see it selling well because it's the last DCEU title before we get James Gunn's new Superman movie. And even though I didn't love this one, I thought the story was pretty weak. It did have some fun action moments, and I still picked up the 4K myself. What can I say? Next up, we got to have Back to the Future, the Ultimate Trilogy from Universal. I'm wondering if that got a discount at all, but I absolutely love that trilogy. It's one of my top favorite trilogies of all time. Not a bad Back to the Future in the bunch. I think they're all great. I think they're all unique, and they're just super fun. So that's like classic 80s movies. Got to check out Back to the Future if you haven't. Next up, we got to have The Crow from Paramount. The Crow, kind of one of the new hot titles of the summer. I still haven't picked up the 4K yet. I've heard some pretty good things, and I like this movie. It's a typical kind of revenge Punisher story. It has that super fantasy element to it all, so I do want to get this one. Hopefully it gets discounted on like a Prime Day. Next up, we're going to have High Noon from Kino Lorber. Don't know anything about this title, but I'm guessing it's a classic Western, so not my cup of tea, not my wheelhouse, but maybe you guys love it out there. Next up, we got to have The Abyss from 20th Century, which I think is one of the most gorgeous looking 4Ks of the year. I love the underwater environments, the creature designs. It's just really breathtaking. So really good 4K right there. Next up, we got to have Blade Runner, the final cut from Warner. I'm guessing a discount as well. And I do like Blade Runner okay. I know some people absolutely love it and swear by it as the best sci-fi title. I actually kind of like the sequel a little bit more. Next up, we got to have Platoon from Shout Studios. I think they did a re-release of this one. Then if they do like a new steelbook, it looked kind of green, I think. But I enjoy Platoon. If you like military movies, you got to check this one out. There's some great performances in here. I think you got Willem Dafoe in this one. So yeah, definitely one of the top military movies out there, in my opinion. Next up, we got to have Barbie from Warner. Barbie is going to be on this list off and on for the next couple of years, I bet. Everybody loved this one. Apparently, I just did not connect with it. I didn't care for the comedy here. It just didn't work for me on any level. But if you love it, that is awesome. I should celebrate that. Next up, we got Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi from Disney Lucasfilm. I picked up the 4K steelbook myself. I still need to watch this. Haven't even gone through the disc. It's like literally right by my TV, ready to watch. And I remember streaming it, and it was okay. I'm hoping I like it a little bit more on a second rewatch here. But next up, we got to have Dune Part 1 from Warner. Of course, Dune Part 2 was a hot movie of the box office. Everybody loved it, which I loved Part 2 as well. So happy to see Part 1 still selling along with that. Next up, we got a new one finally. Finally a new title here. Wonder where they were all at. We got Bad Lieutenant from Kino Lorber. Know nothing of this title. And I don't know. What is it? Is it a buddy cop movie? Maybe. Is it a comedy? Drama? I don't know. You guys let me know if you think I'd like. Next up, we got Crimson Peak from Arrow Video. I actually do like this movie, directed by Guillermo del Toro. It's very artistic with kind of the haunted house style, but I loved how the blood looked on the snow in the movie. It's very artistically done. So, yeah, I'm a Guillermo del Toro fan. I can recommend that one. Next up, we got Killer Clowns from Outer Space from Shout Studios. MGM, I love Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Maybe my favorite steelbook of the year. I just thought it looked absolutely gorgeous. I love the cotton candy cover. I think this is like the best cult classic movie out there. It's such a whimsical score, great killer clown, production design and makeup. And it's just so fun. And the killer clown kills are so bizarre and it just captures my attention every time. So I enjoy that one. If you're a horror fan, you got to check it out. Next up, we got Lawrence of Arabia from Sony Pictures. This is an all-time epic kind of adventure movie, as you will, that if you haven't seen this one, you're really into filmmaking. It's a classic one that most people should watch. It's just super long. You got to plan a day around it. But I enjoy this one for what it is. So yeah, definitely got to check out Lawrence of Arabia. New one here, we got Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas from Criterion Edition. So it's Criterion style here. Now, if you're going to pick this one up, I would probably wait to Criterion sale month, just right around the corner in July. I have not seen this movie at all. I've heard mixed things about this one. You guys will have to let me know based off my taste. Is it in my wheelhouse? Would I enjoy it? The cover looks fine, so I don't know. Should I get it? Should I not? You guys let me know. Next up, we got Oppenheimer from Universal. This movie, once again, will be on this list for probably a couple years here. Did amazing at the box office. Christopher Nolan movie, great visuals, great sound. I think it was pretty overrated myself. I liked it, don't get me wrong, but it just seemed like people love that one. And that's awesome. I celebrate that if that was you. Next up, we're going to have Star Wars Andor, the complete first season from Disney Lucasfilm. I watched my 4K disc. I actually like this show on this retrying of watching it again. And yeah, you got to be patient with it. It's not super epic Star Wars action. It's more drama centric. But once you get into the characters and what's going on, it does have some good payoffs, I think. So yeah, Andor, I can recommend. Next up, we got Glory from Sony Pictures. Cool 4K steelbook. I still need to check out this movie. It's a Civil War movie. It's right in my wheelhouse. I'm sure I would love it. I'm just waiting for a discount on that steelbook. It's so pricey, but if that gets dropped in price, I will definitely pick it up. Next up, we got a new one here. Yes, Rango from Paramount. Really cool looking steelbook edition. And I love Rango. I think that's a fun animated movie. It's totally a Western style. I love the characters in here, the designs. It's just very unique. And yeah, it's really entertaining. So if you're into Westerns or animation, I would definitely check out some Rango. Next up, number one. I'm sure you guys guessed it. What else is it going to be? Dune Part 2 from Warner. You know, Part 1 was on here. You know, Part 2 is going to show up. Dune Part 2 will definitely be in the top 5, I'm sure, for some time. Everybody loved this one. I thought it was a great epic movie at the box office. Fun theater experience, sci-fi action, really entertaining, great cast of characters. So I want to see where they go next with the Dune franchise. And I still got to pick up my Part 2, but I'm waiting for a discount studio title. I know we'll get discounted sooner rather than later, hopefully. But would happy to have that one in the collection. But there we go. Those were the top 20 selling 4Ks of the previous week. Once again, let me know in the comments what were your favorites out of the bunch. What have you been picking up? Any 4Ks you picked up that weren't on this list that you want to shout out? Let's share that with the community. But now let's get into that market share breakdown. We got to look at the different disc formats because, of course, it's a friendly competition on this channel always. So let me bring up a couple charts here. We're going to bring up the past previous weeks here, a couple of them. And wow, 4Ks did drop a little bit. We're down to 8%. They're about 9% the week before that. So a slight drop, but still a drop. We did have Blu-rays drop a few percent as well, went to 14%. They were above 17% last time. But now we got DVDs here. DVDs are always the king. They are 77% right now. They were about 70% before. They're close to 80%. Isn't that wild? We live in a day and age with HD and Ultra HD and all these fancy TVs out there with the OLEDs, and just people have these crazy home theater setups, and we still have DVDs close to 80%. That just boggles my mind right there. I mean, what is going on? I mean, I like DVDs more, than most probably. I do love a decent DVD, but if it's available in HD, if it's available in Ultra HD, I definitely lean towards that way if I can get it for a good price. Now, not every title comes to those formats, unfortunately, so you still got to collect a lot of DVDs on certain titles if you want to have everything, or, the ones of your favorites. But yeah, it's just interesting to look at how these formats always fluctuate. But for some reason, DVD always remains king. You guys got to let me know your theory on why DVD is so powerful out there. But next up, let's just talk about the future here. What do we think of the state of physical media? How is it doing overall? Well, I think physical media is probably doing just mediocre right now. We didn't have a lot of new titles show up on the top selling list Unfortunately, these previous weeks, there's not a lot of hot titles coming out as of recent. Now, there's little glimpses here and there every few weeks or so, but we haven't had that week where it's just a ton of bangers recently, where there's a plentiful of new titles. And if we do get a week like that, it's usually the following week we don't have much of anything. So it's really strange. But I do think July is going to be a phenomenal month. I just did my July preview video for the month. It looks like there's a lot of good titles there. So I think July is going to pick up. I think that's really going to be the summer season for these hot titles for 4K and Blu-rays and DVDs. And I think we're just going to have a little bit more sales in the July month. But once again, total speculation there based off what's coming out in terms of physical media overall. I think we're still in a decline just because as older generations pass on, I don't see these new generations being as fans of movies. And that's going to hurt theater going. That's going to hurt physical media collecting. I mean, even streaming to a point where they just don't care as much about the movies. And that's a sad thing. But on this channel, you know, we love movies. So this is a safe space for movie lovers. And that's how we like to keep it. But once again, you guys got to let me know in the comments. What do you guys think on the state of physical media? Where is it going next? Let's have a fun time watching and talking that movies. Of course, if you haven't already, mega smash that like and subscribe. That way you stay entertained and up to date on all future analysis reports, of course, of more breaking down of movie numbers. And yeah, just have a fun time. Of course, you'll love this topic. Go ahead and mega smash the next video right now. And thank you so much, my Mega membership supporters. If you love talking and collecting movies, consider joining the Mega League of Film Fans through memberships to support content creation while gaining access to perks like shoutouts, exclusive videos, and future topic choices.